As the search for Luka Magnotta widens, a clear picture of the murder suspect is emerging. But what was inside his head when he allegedly committed such a gruesome crime? Mary Ellen O'Toole is live on the phone from Stafford, Virginia. She's a retired FBI agent and was a senior profiler at the Bureau. Very glad to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
So I know you spent nearly 30 years with the FBI. So based on your experiences, how does this case compare to some of the cases that you dealt with?
Well, not 40 years with the FBI, but 28.
Close to 30.
Close to 30. This case, there's no case of homicide or, in cases of serial homicide that are identical. They don't come from cookie cutter groups of behavior. But having said that, this case is very unique and interesting from the point of view that there was an interest in recording this and sharing this information publicly via the internet, and then taking the victim and sending body parts to politicians. That is very extreme behavior, but it's the extreme sometimes behavior, the very unusual behavior that makes the case easier actually to assess, and it will make the case even easier if there is another case similar to this one anywhere in the world.
Mary Ellen, from what we know so far, there may have been a sexual element to this crime. What kind of behavior might someone like this be engaging in?
Well, it could be drop it into two categories. It could be behavior that's obviously sexual in nature, but it also could include behaviors that are non-sexual, but the offender engages in it for sexual purposes, or very deviant behaviors. And let me give you some examples. And this is fairly graphic information, but the offender can engage in necrophilic behavior, which is sex with someone who's already dead. He can engage in cannibalism, or dismemberment can even have a sexual component to it. The key is not necessarily the behavior, but the offender's reaction to the behavior. Is he being sexually aroused or sexually gratified by what he's doing to the victim?
The manner in which this crime was committed, as you say, the details are graphic, it's gruesome in nature, it's shocking, there is such a shock factor. So based on all of that, how long do you think he'd last out there before this individual is likely to reoffend?
Well, I think based on what I've read, which is public source information, and as reported that this is someone that likes a lot of attention, and even if it involves really extreme behavior, in my opinion, again, based on public reporting of this person, I don't think he can lay low like a successful fugitive. I think it's going to be pretty quickly, and is that a day or 2 weeks? But I think that he is going to continue to need the kind of attention and notoriety that this case really defines. So again, is that a day, 2 days, is it a week? If you are looking at someone that needs attention, that's narcissistic and wants extreme attention, I think that is going to cause this person to be identified pretty quickly and apprehended pretty quickly.
Explain to us, if you can, Mary Ellen, the difference between a criminal leaving an MO and one who leaves a signature, and this might relate to this case.
Sure. An MO, which is the acronym for modus operandi, is behavior the offender engages in order to successfully complete the crime and not be apprehended in the middle of committing the crime. So in other words, picking a place that is quiet and not noticeable to other people where he can commit the crime, committing it alone where there are no witnesses, late at night where a few people are out and about. That's an MO. MO changes over time as the person gets better. A signature, however, is very unique behavior that's not necessary to the crime scene, that the offender engages in for psychological or sexual purposes to make the crime satisfying to him. And it's those unique behaviors that will be able to enable law enforcement to link future cases to an offender. So it's not necessarily the MO, it's more the signature behavior in a crime scene that investigators and profilers will be looking for.
Mary Ellen O'Toole, retired FBI agent, joining us from Stafford, Virginia. I also want to mention you're the author of Dangerous Instincts, How Gut Feelings Betray Us. Mary Ellen, great insight. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much.